Halo semuanya, selamat malam. Halo, halo sudah. Aduh, namanya Jepang nih, gua nggak bisa. Gua nggak tahu namanya. Pokoknya nama Jepang ya. Hui, halo. Masih ada 3 menit lagi ya sebelum apa? Spesial programnya mulai. Bakalan apa nih kira-kira nih? Bakalan keren kah story-nya? Story-nya menceritakan insafnya si Scaramouche ini kayaknya ya. Halo Liuzi, halo. Selamat bergabung Liuzi, sudah lama tidak live. Gwen, halo, halo selamat malam Gwen. Masih 2 menit ya. Bingung juga 2 menit mau ngapain, main juga udah nggak keburu. Kira-kira pada narik Scaramouche nggak nih? Kalau lihat dari bocoran sih Scaramouche ini ya, attack-nya cepet ya. Apalagi dia juga katalis kan ya, katalis anemo lagi. Bakalan mirip-mirip Heizo tapi pastinya lebih sakit ya, karena Heizo itu kan bintang 4, ini bintang 5. Tapi karena gua pengumpul Fatui Harbingers ya mau-mau aja sih gua gacha si Scaramouche ini. Harusnya bentar lagi mulai, tinggal 1 menit. Biasanya sih on time ya dia orang ya. Ntar gue sekalian nyalain AC dulu, panas. Oke, I'm back. Harusnya udah mulai nih. Oke, mulai ya.
I bet you didn't waste any time as soon as you heard that Inazuma was organizing a test of courage event, right? Huh? I know
Woi,
you.
mana gambarnya, woi?
Oh, what am I doing? Well, obviously I'm here scouting out the place. I've been investigating the area and I've already figured out all the plans for the event. Of course,
Skip sekarang.
I can tell you all the details. We're practically
Mau Raiden nih
family.
kayaknya si Gwen ya.
I'm Max Middleman.
Kalau kalian belum punya Raiden sih lebih mending Raiden sih.
Version
Raiden tuh
3.3
sangat
special
kepake.
program. Let's roll the version 3.3 trailer.
A friendly word of advice. Test of courage events tend to give rise to a variety of strange rumors and stories. So please, be sure to exercise caution.
Halo Anando Aldio. Halo, selamat malam Anando.
How was that? Were you scared?
Ini kayaknya yang jadi bintang utama
Who goes there?
si ini ya.
So, is there really a ghost around here? Why does Paimon have a feeling that it's staring right at us?
Apa nih, Halloween kah temanya?
Talking to me.
Kayak ada setan-setannya gitu nih.
Jester, I have completed the task you gave me.
From this day forth, Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist.
Baim,
Did you
halo Bang,
really
apa
think
kabar?
you would be
Baik.
able to see through my
Terima kasih ya, Baim. Gimana kabarnya sendiri?
Dottore. Dottore! In that case, I'll take some time for myself.
Beuy, jadi anemo cuy.
Squall and Fury! You dare to gaze upon me?
Wah, ini nih si Hatsune Miku. Hatsune Miku KW. Raiden lebih penting senjata apa konstelasi? Kalau bisa ngincer konstelasi C2 sih lebih bagus C2 ya. Tapi C2 kan susah. Kalau senjata mah bisa pakai ini kok. Bisa pakai apa tuh namanya? The Catch R5 juga udah kuat, The Catch R5. Oke, jadi kode redeem pertamanya 8AR AU 6FN BNPV. Ini kalian bisa dapet 100 Primo Game sama 10 Mystic apa tuh? Mystic Ore ya. Tapi gue suka ya sama desainnya si Scaramouche yang jadi Anemo ya. Warnanya enak gitu dilihat mata. Gue suka banget soalnya warna-warna Tosca gitu.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Genshin Impact version 3.3 special program. I'm your host, Sarah Miller Cruz, the voice of Lumine in Genshin Impact. And today I'm joined
ya tumben ya
by
Lumin yang
Max,
ini
the
ya.
one and
Jadi pembawa
only
acaranya.
middleman,
Biasanya
voice
Ether
of
kan.
the one and only Arataki Ito.
And I'm Patrick Pedraza, voice of the Wanderer. But up until now, travelers have only known me as Scaramouche, and everyone's been battling me in the game lately.
Yeah, that's true. But to be fair, it's a
Katanya
really cool fight.
sama
It's a
player
really cool
lagi
fight.
ngelawan dia
I know.
katanya sekarang.
Anyway,
Gara-gara
I'm
dia
super
masih
excited to have
Scaramouche
the
kan.
chance to share some upcoming content with everyone. What did you all think about that trailer?
Okay, so I definitely saw Irminsul in there, and I am really excited to find out more about it.
Yeah, that trailer had everything. It had everything. It had.
By the way, suara aman nggak
action.
suara?
It had drama.
Apakah
It was
suara
lighthearted in places,
videonya
but it was dramatic.
kegedean atau suara gue yang kegedean?
Dude, I'm just super stoked for
Kalau
everyone to see
ada yang
Scaramouche's
mengganggu bilang aja ya.
backstory.
Nanti gue kecilin
I'm
suaranya.
super excited about it for reals.
Heck yeah.
Well, speaking of that, following the story's development, Scaramouche is still in Nahida's custody. So I bet the question everyone's wanting to know is how he'll become the Wanderer.
Yeah, for sure. And there's quite a story behind that. If you're interested, then be sure to play through the Archon Quest interlude chapter.
Cara
the
masukin
version
kode
of
tanpa
Genesis.
login, gue nggak tahu ya.
There's
Gue
so
biasanya
much
sih
to learn
selalu
in this
dari
quest,
in-game.
So I hope everyone checks it out.
Oh, come on, man. You can't just leave everyone hanging like that. How about some hints? Come on, please. Please.
All right. How can I say no to a cute chibi Ito?
You can't.
Here's a little preview from the quest.
Nah ini questnya nih berubah Scaramouche jadi Wanderer nih kayaknya nih.
Today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. From what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with
Gue
their
juga penasaran sih
imagination.
apa yang membuat si Scaramouche jadi baik gitu loh.
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Oh,
Pretty rad.
Archon Quest lu
Why are
gila.
you talking about Tatarasuna?
Bertobatnya si Scaramouche jadi Archon
It is
Quest ya
interesting
ternyata
though
ya.
to see the Traveler, Nahida, and Scaramouche all together so peacefully like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in this interlude chapter,
Skara
Nahida will
tobat.
task the
Iya nih,
Traveler
Skaranya
and
dapat
Paimon
hidayah
with
nih.
keeping an eye on
Habis
Scaramouche
dikemplang
while we go with
kepalanya
him into Irminsul
sama si
in search
Traveler
of
langsung
some
dapat hidayah
information.
dia.
Oh, interesting. So obviously Nahida must have some reason for deciding to keep Scaramouche around.
Oh, yeah, totally. And I'm liking Scaramouche's new style. Ooh, dude's looking sharp.
Lidahnya melet-melet loh.
No.
Emang karakternya
Right.
kayaknya karakter
And
ini
at
ya.
this point,
Karakter anak
he's
bandel
known
ya,
by
si
a completely
Scaramouche ini ya.
different name, the Wanderer. I love that name.
Okay, so I know I'm not the only one who's curious about what happened. I mean, it looks like he's really changed a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm afraid that's all we can show for now. Travelers will have to experience the story for themselves in-game. I mean, it's better to explore the storyline without too many spoilers, right?
True.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, we'll leave the
Dia
rest
nggak mau
for
kasih
travelers
spoiler
to discover
katanya
themselves.
ceritanya. Kenapa
The
sekarang
Wanderer
harus
is also
bertobat?
going to be a new playable character in version 3.3.
Okay,
So let's talk
Wanderer.
about that. I'm sure many of our viewers are curious about his talent.
Kakihara
Heck yeah,
Tetsuya.
sure
Kakihara
thing.
Tetsuya
Let's have a look at
terkenal
the
ya
Wanderer
yang
in
voice
combat.
actor Jepangnya.
There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence.
The wind rises.
Kalau kalian perhatiin juga dia punya vision itu ini ya, modelnya Sumeru punya ya, dia bukan
Bow your
Inazuma.
head.
Meler.
All right,
Black
Patrick, you're up.
anjir.
Help introduce the Wanderer for us.
Sure thing. The Wanderer is a catalyst user and has an animo vision, so he uses
Katalis.
wind
Buat yang
blades to
udah
perform
ngeliatin
ranged normal attacks.
bocoran leak mah udah
Wait a
nggak kaget
second,
ya.
Wind Blade?
Scaramouche itu
Not the same as the
apa aja ya yang
Traveler's
bisa
wind
dia
blade.
lakukan ya.
Okay.
So, as everyone probably already noticed, the Wanderer can hover in the air when he casts his elemental skill. Upon using his elemental skill,
Dia
he
bisa
will
terbang
first
si
deal AoE
Scaramouche ini.
damage before leaping into the air and entering a hovering state. So, while hovering, the Wanderer's normal and charge
Materialnya
attacks will
Nobushi
be
jadi
converted
males.
into Kugo, Fushudan, and
Daripada
Kugotofukai,
materialnya suruh cari
respectively. The
kumbang
damage
lagi,
they
gue sih
deal
udah
and their
tobat nyari
AoE
kumbang
will
ya.
be increased. Their damage will be considered normal and charge attack damage, respectively. Also, Kugotofukai will not consume stamina, and he can remain hovering for a certain duration.
That's so awesome! He can fly!
I know, right? But he can't stay hovering forever. While hovering, the Wanderer constantly consumes Kuguryoku
Dia ada
points
ini ya,
to
ada
maintain his
stamina
hovering
ya.
state, which is the
Terbangnya tuh
blue
ada
meter
stamina
you see on the
terpisah ya
screen.
dia ya.
Even if he doesn't move or attack, hovering will still consume Kuguryoku points.
Oh, dia
Okay.
indikatornya
So
beda
this
ya.
mechanic works a
Jadi
little differently
pas
than our
stamina
typical
terbang
stamina
kalian
meter.
habis,
There are
stamina
many
asli kalian
possible
masih
actions
ada.
the Wanderer can perform while hovering in the air, which all rely on Kuguryoku points rather than stamina. So, for example, sprinting mid-air will consume additional Kuguryoku points to accelerate mid-air, and holding the sprint button will cause persistent point consumption to maintain speed. So, this effect will replace his default sprint. Jumping expends extra Kuguryoku points to increase hovering height.
Nah, ini
Holding
kalau
jump
kalian
will cause
naikin ketinggian
persistent
terbang
Kuguryoku
sama
point
nge-sprint
consumption
di
to keep
udara,
increasing hovering
itu
height.
stamina
Of
terbang
course,
kalian tuh kurangnya
running
lebih
out of
cepat
points
katanya.
will end his hovering state.
Oh, okay. So travelers will need to plan their actions while hovering.
Exactly. So with his
Kenapa
talent,
Skara dan
Jade
Wanderer
claimed
mirip?
Flower,
Karena orangnya
when
sama.
casting his elemental skill, if it contacts Hydro, Pyro,
Yang satu mode
Cryo, or Electro,
bertobat, yang satu
that
belum
instance
bertobat.
of the skill will receive a corresponding buff effect depending on which element was contacted. So for example, increasing his Kuguryoku points cap, attack, crit rate, or restoring a set amount of energy upon hitting opponents with a normal or charged attack. The Wanderer can have up to 2 different kinds of these buffs simultaneously.
Ooh.
Oh, look, check that out. Part of the halo behind him changes color depending on the buffs you get. So travelers will be able to easily understand what affects the
Dia ada
Wanderer
ini juga ya,
currently
ada
has.
buff
I like that.
berdasarkan
It's helpful and
elemen
still
yang
looks
kesuil
really cool.
tuh kayaknya sih.
Yeah.
So after unlocking another talent, Gales of Reverie, when the Wanderer is in the hovering state, if his normal or charged attack hits an enemy, there is a set chance to gain another buff effect, allowing him to sprint mid-air without consuming Kuguryoku points. Additionally, this buff effect will fire wind arrows to attack the enemy.
Ooh.
Oh, dope. I'm sure
Itu
extra
ada
buff effects like
ekstra
that
ini
will go a
lagi
long
ya,
way for
ekstra
players when they're in combat.
pedang
Yeah,
angin
for sure.
lagi tuh
And if
kayaknya.
you've noticed, there is a colorful aura of light around his body to indicate when that buff effect is triggered.
Saw that.
That's pretty cool. I love all the detail they've put into the Wanderer.
Alright, this brings us to the Wanderer's Elemental Burst.
Nah ini elemental burst-nya yang agak gue kecewa
check
ya,
this out.
nggak
Upon
keren gitu.
unleashing his burst, he compresses the atmosphere and stomps it down toward the enemy.
Walaupun
So travelers should
ini yang
note that
dimau
if the
sama
Wanderer
ini
is in
sih,
a
sama
hovering state
fanbase
when he
sih.
unleashes his burst,
Pada pengen
then
diinjak
the hovering
Scaramouche
state
kan.
will end
Akhirnya
and he will
beneran
begin
dibikin
descending after the
burst-nya
burst is
nginjak.
completed.
Okay, this stomping animation is a little aggressive.
Yeah, but it's cool.
I know, and it actually suits his character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Sayangnya
I
dia
can't
nggak
help it.
nyedot ya. burst-nya ya, nggak kayak
Wait. Let's
karakter-karakter
not forget
anemo
about
pada
the
umumnya ya.
exploration talent.
Ah, yes. This is an interesting one. The
ini
Wanderer can
senjatanya
decrease
nih.
the mora
Crit
required
damage.
when ascending bows and catalysts.
Hey
Base-nya crit
now, you can never
damage.
complain about saving Mora.
Nah,
Am I
itu tuh
right?
kumbang ya.
That's true.
Buat kalian yang mau ngegacha
Alright,
senjatanya
now that we've seen
bisa
the
siap-siap
Wanderer,
dari
let's
awal
move on to the
ngumpulin
next new
material
character.
material
ready?
senjata yang
I'm
kumbang.
ready.
Yay!
What did you say? Oh, I'm old now, so every other phrase escapes my
Nah, ini
ears.
si
Try calling
Hatsune
me Madam,
Miku
Faruzan.
KW ala
And I'll see
Genshin.
if I can pick that up.
Dan dia gosipnya di banner yang sama sama Scaramouche ya. Jadi ya buat yang ngincer Scaramouche kayak gua sih hoki sekali sih ini bisa
What is
dapat
it that you'd
dua
like to learn more
karakter.
about? Different forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms? The base layer design of elemental monuments? Huh. Wait. Did you forget to call me Madam Faruzan just now when you asked your question? Whoa! What? There's nothing wrong with being afraid of thunder, even at an older age.
Oh, she sounds
gosh.
sassy.
I
Yeah,
know.
and smart too.
She seems so awesome.
She's fun.
Hori Yui.
I wonder what her skirts
Voice
make.
I know her
actor Jepang.
design
Hori
is
Yui kayak gue
so
pernah
cool
denger
and
voice
really
actornya siapa ya
detailed.
itu
I
ya?
love it.
So, even though she looks super young, she's actually an old person? Like, where's my teeth?
Well, she's not that old.
Oh, right.
Could have fooled me.
Faruzan's age is probably still nothing compared to Scaramouche.
Mm-hmm. But let's call him the Wanderer, Sarah. Please.
Okay, you know who I meant. Actually, now that I think about it, yokai can also live a really long time too.
That's
Gile
right,
nggak
yeah,
salah
no,
tuh
and speaking of
roknya
age,
bolong
isn't
jir.
the traveler's age also kind of mysterious?
That's true. It looks like all of our characters are intriguing. But it's
Gua
safe
kira
to say
motif
that
soalnya roknya
Faruzan
bolong
is
loh.
way older than most people in Teyvat. Faruzan works in the Academia's Haravatat Darshan and has been a hairbod, which roughly means mentor, for over a century.
So, I bet everyone out there is wondering if she's also some kind of creature blessed with long life, you know? Like Klee?
No, she's actually just your regular, typical human being.
Oh.
Well, maybe not so typical. About 100 years ago, Faruzan was an undisputed genius, traveling all around Sumeru and solving many puzzles and mysteries. The notes she left behind eventually became the basis of mechanical research for later generations.
Whoa, she sounds pretty
Ah, dia bukan manusia
amazing.
normal, udah umur 100
But
tahun.
later, she accidentally stumbled into some ruins while trying to solve a puzzle. There, she encountered some strange phenomenon which stopped her from aging, and was trapped there for nearly 100 years. She eventually solved the puzzle and was able to finally return to Sumeru.
Can you
Gile,
imagine being
umurnya
trapped in a
100 tahun
puzzle
lebih si
for
Faruzan.
100 years? Wait. So that's how she's been hairbod for over a century.
Yeah. And even now, she still has the pride of a scholar in her heart and is a very talented person. It's just that after being separated from the world for so long, she's kind of fallen behind the times now.
Oh, hey, I get what you mean. She was once a proud researcher in a niche field
Tinggal
that
si Cafe.
has become
Cafe
unpopular
sih masih
after
lama ya
100
kayaknya
years.
ya.
So, is she
Mungkin dia
still
dikeluarinnya
completely
bareng si
dedicated to her
ini sih,
field?
Al Haitam
Yep.
sih.
And she
Di
often tries
3.4
using her
mungkin.
old age as a means of drumming up support for her ideas. However, I think she'd prefer to be complained about for using her seniority rather than garnering sympathy
Jadi
for her
kalau
experience
yang
being
gua
trapped in
dengar
ruins.
dari
Yeah,
omongan
sounds like
Inggrisnya,
she's quite the
si
character.
Faruzan ini kan
I know, right?
jenius.
Okay,
Jenius,
so
dia
now
terus
that we've covered her backstory, why don't
Pergi
we take a look at
eksplorasi gitu
Faruzan's
terus
abilities
dia
in
ketemu
combat?
kayak
Fight,
rahasia
fight,
panjang
fight.
umur gitu. Makanya umur dia bisa nembus 100 gitu.
100 years have passed.
Kalau yang gue dengar
but
sih
there
gitu
hasn't
ya.
been any change to those dumb rules at the academia. Dare to mess with me? Have fun with this gift.
Nah ini gue penasaran ya sama skillnya yang ini nih. Kayak jadi
I
segitiga-segitiganya
love
itu
all the
pindah-pindah
geometric
tempat
shapes
gitu.
when
Itu
she's
buat
playing.
apa
Did you
gitu
guys
ya?
see that?
Yes, there's so
crazy.
much geometry, and I took geometry.
It looks so cool.
Ah, yeah.
So, Faruzan is an animo character, and she wields a bow as her weapon. Her normal attacks are the usual bow attacks you'd expect from a bow user, so there's not too much to say about that. But her skills are where things get
Wind Realm
interesting.
of
Her
Nasmijin.
elemental skill deploys a
Wah, nyedot,
polyhedron
cuy.
that deals damage to enemies. After using her skill, her next aimed shot will become a special attack that creates a vortex, pulling nearby
Wah,
objects and
gile,
opponents in.
Scaramouche nggak nyedot, dia yang
Nice.
nyedot,
So she
cuy.
can clump enemies together.
And there's also another thing about her special charged attack. It will create a vortex effect at its point of impact. And if the attack hits an enemy or ally member, it'll apply a mark and create a vortex after a short delay.
Okay. So it looks like there'll be a lot of potential uses for this attack. Travelers will have to experiment with it and see what they come up with.
Yeah, I think it'd be amazing to try hitting teammates with the arrow in co-op mode.
Oke,
and
jadi
have
dia
them
pakai
charge
skill,
into the enemies
dia
to group
keluar
them all together.
segitiga-segitiga
I'll have to
itu,
see who wants to try that with
nembak,
me.
terus ngevakum ya.
After unlocking the talent Impetuous Flow, the time required for fully charging Faruzan's next shot will be reduced, and the arrow will reduce the target enemy's animo resistance. In her elemental burst, she deploys a dazzling
Nah, ini burstnya
polyhedron
nih.
and releases a whirlwind pulse. Throughout its duration, the dazzling polyhedron will continuously move along a triangular path. Once it reaches each corner of that triangular path, it will unleash one more whirlwind pulse.
Yeah, 1 minute she's here, the next she's
kayaknya nyedot juga sih.
probably gone for 100 years.
Coba ada nggak dia nunjukin pas lawan Hilikul gitu.
Even Sino's jokes are funnier than that.
It was pretty
All
funny.
right. Anyway, let's hear what effects these whirlwind pulses have.
Coba
Sure.
nih, ini mungkin dikasih lihat
When the
nih.
whirlwind pulse hits opponents, it will decrease their animo resistance. It will also apply an animo damage buff effect to all nearby party members when it's unleashed. Travelers should note that the effective range of this buff is quite large, and it's not just within the whirlwind pulse itself, so there's no need
Nggak
to go
kelihatan
chasing the
nyedot ya.
polyhedron. After unlocking her talent, Lost Wisdom of the Seven Caverns, when a team member uses normal, charged, or plunging attacks, elemental skills, or elemental bursts to deal animo damage to an enemy, the damage will increase based on Faruzan's base attack. This effect can only be triggered once for a certain duration of time.
Oh, so it seems she'll be the solid support.
Yeah.
Totally! And as a researcher of mechanics and puzzles, Faruzan has taken it upon herself to explore many ruins, with her travels taking her all across Sumeru. Her exploration talent reflects this. And she gains
25% more
more
reward,
rewards
ini
when
kayak
dispatched on a
si
Sumeru expedition
Cookie
for
Shinobu
20 hours.
berarti ya.
I'm sure no other mentor in Haravatat has 100 years of experience in solving puzzles.
Yeah, I gotta say, that's pretty hard to beat. So, the big question is, when can travelers expect to get these new
Jadi
characters?
kalau yang
That
dari
is a
gua
good
denger ini
question.
support
Let's
buat
talk about the upcoming
Anemo
event
DPS
wishes.
ya.
In the early part
Karena
of
dia
version
ada efek
3.3, the
ini,
Wanderer and
ngurangi
Arata
resisten
Ito will be
Anemo.
available via
Dan
their
ini
own
bener ya,
event
P1
wishes.
si
Faruzan will
Faruzan,
also be making her debut in these
terus
event wishes.
bintang
In
5-nya
the
si
later part of
Wanderer
version
sama si
3.3,
ini.
we'll be seeing
Bintang
rerun
2-nya
event wishes
si
for both the
Raiden Shogun sama
and
Ayato ya,
Kamisato
sesuai
Ayato.
bocoran ya.
And last but not least, the new 5-star catalyst, Tule Tule's Remembrance, will be appearing in a new weapon event
Weaponnya
wish.
senjatanya
And
si
that's not all.
Scaramouche.
In version 3.3, 2 brand new artifact series will
Info
become
banner
available.
ini sekarang nih lagi
travelers
info
should be
banner
sure to
nih.
check out the corresponding domain.
Woo! More artifacts!
All right.
I
Oh,
hope
artifak
travelers
baru
have
ya.
fun experimenting and
Anemo
trying new
damage
combinations
bonus
with
di
these.
serta pilihan.
Okay, we've already talked about a ton of new content, so
Flower
why don't we
Paradise
take a quick
Elemental
break with
Mastery.
another redemption code?
Sounds good. Roll out the
Bloom
code.
Hyper Bloom Burgeon. Itu tadi artefak yang atas sih kayaknya buat Faruzan ya. Artefak yang bawah tadi gue liat Elemental Mastery sih. 2 setnya, tapi 4 setnya nambah damage apa tuh efeknya Dendro kayaknya itu. Ini kode redeemnya ya, yang kedua ya, NS8BD6EP S77Z. Ini Mihoyo lagi ini ya, lagi royal ngasih primo ya. Kalau kalian perhatiin event yang apa, Hipotasis Simponi itu dapat primonya gede banget loh itu. Satu hari bisa dapat 100 lebih gitu.
Welcome back to the version 3.3 special
Nah, ini
program.
senjata ya, senjata
Patrick, what do we
gratisan
have next?
R5.
So next, we'll be covering the upcoming events for the new version.
That's right. We've already mentioned the Test of Courage event, and I'm sure plenty of you were wondering about that, so let's start there.
Pedangnya lucu, Jir.
You must be here to participate in the Test of Courage. I can already see a dark aura surrounding the two of you. If you carelessly go running into the event, all
Ini
it'll
kayaknya
take is
kita
one
ngerayain
missed.
Halloween versi Jepang ya.
Darkness will swallow you up. Some strange and unusual things may occur along the way. If you ever feel you can't handle it, you may withdraw from the event at any time. This is your last chance.
Anjir, itu matanya
I'll count it
bolong
down.
atau apa itu?
3, 2, 1. Welcome to the test of courage. Enter at your own risk.
That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it is a test of courage, so I'm sure there'll be some scary stuff going on there.
I ain't scared.
Anyway, to successfully clear this event, we'll be facing a series
Bisa
of
hantu
little
lagi
tests.
kah eventnya?
Ooh, what's this? Tests, you say?
Yes, that's right. Word has it that
Yokai.
as you walk around the test of courage, you might find yourself encountering a special sort of game. We've already got the rules down, so I'll do a quick introduction. Basically, travelers will have to control a bouncing
Apaan nih,
bar to bounce
Tetris?
a ball and use skill ball effects to break as many bricks as
Oh,
possible.
main itu
I'm
pinball.
liking this one. Seems pretty straightforward.
During the game, travelers will be able to trigger elemental reactions to break bricks more effectively.
Nice! It even has elemental reactions.
Yeah, we can control the character to move the bar. When the character we're using is either pyro, hydro,
Tergantung
cryo, or
visionnya
electro,
karakter ya.
the corresponding element will be applied to the bar. By switching characters, you can change the element of the bar.
Okay, all the pieces are falling in place now. The bar can infuse a certain element, and the blocks also have their own elements. So causing a skill ball of one element
Yeah.
to hit blocks of different elements will trigger elemental reactions. There, how'd I do?
Yep, you
Oh,
nailed
nggak
it.
usah samain
The
warna
bar
ya?
will add the element corresponding to your character. Besides triggering reactions the way you just mentioned, if a skill ball is already infused by an element and it hits the bar, it will also trigger a reaction, causing the skill ball to have some additional effects. When preparing your team, you can equip modifiers to receive
Ini
various
pinball
buff effects,
pinball
which will
pakai
help you
otak ini
successfully
berarti.
clear the challenge.
Oh, nice.
Mesti ngatur
Also, when
elemental
there are less than
reactionnya
a certain
juga.
amount of bricks on the board, and the ball lands another hit, the bar will unleash fireworks.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah. Travelers can utilize this effect to break some bricks that would normally be difficult to hit directly.
It's like a bonus attack.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
So, travelers will need to select characters of the right elements, equip the appropriate modifiers, and use different elemental reactions to break bricks and score more points.
And then travelers will be able to use their points to exchange for rewards in the event shop, correct?
That's right. Also, travelers will have the option of teaming up and playing the event together in co-op mode.
Oh, looks like a lot
Bisa
of fun.
co-op,
Yeah,
bisa
super
co-op
fun.
katanya.
Yeah, in addition to this minigame, the Test of Courage storyline will also contain more challenges. Travelers will even have a chance to meet with some good friends again, so be sure to check out this new event. All right, let's move on to our next event.
Okay, so next up, we have a race event called
Across the Wilderness.
Your objective, collecting balloons.
Haiya,
Seems like the Wanderers
eventnya
Brothers might
Mondstadt
come in
lagi nih
handy
main
here.
balon-balonan.
I know, right?
So, in this event,
Permainan
each stage
nostalgia.
will have wilderness balloons.
Zaman dulu ini ya
scattered all around.
komputer jadul
Travelers
ya,
will need to
main
find as
pinball ya.
many wilderness balloons as possible within the time limit to earn increasingly better rewards. So during the challenge, travelers will be able to utilize their character's skills and talents. So it'll be important to assemble the right team depending on the traits and terrain of the challenge area.
Oh,
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah, so
Ini sih nggak
travelers
usah
can
ledakin
also
balon
use
sih,
something
cuma
called the
tabrak-tabrakin
Wilderness
aja ya.
Compass to obtain various buffs, which include enhanced jumping capabilities, increased movement speed, or unlimited stamina, etc.
Ooh, cool.
However, you can only claim one buff during each challenge. You must consume blessed energy to use the compass and gain the selected buff. You may charge the compass up by finding wilderness balloons or
Ini
interacting with blessed
tim
energy in the challenge.
developernya
Or
Genshin sih
you
nggak
can
pernah
always wait
kehabisan
for the
ide ya
compass
bikin
to
minigame
passively
ya.
charge over time.
Yo, this event looks pretty crazy. It's almost like watching parkour.
Yeah, there are two different kinds of wilderness balloons in these challenges. The first is harvest
Walaupun
balloons,
kadang-kadang
which will
eventnya gaje
increase
sih,
the
tapi gua
overall
nggak
progress
peduli, yang
of your
penting
search
primo
for
game ya.
wilderness balloons. The other kind is sonar balloons,
Semakin
which will
banyak
cause
primo game
several harvest
meskipun
balloons to appear
minigame
around you
sepele
for a set
semakin
amount of
bagus lah
time.
ya.
That's awesome.
So there will be 5 stages available for this event, and travelers will need to consider the conditions and terrain of each stage to come up with the best way to complete it. Also, travelers may team up in co-op mode for challenges.
Nah, bisa co-op juga ya katanya, bisa co-op.
Yeah, same. Okay, let's move on to our next event.
Everyone's favorite game of hide and seek is back.
Woi, Wintrace lagi
and of
nih.
course, this is going to be another co-op event, and I for
Event
one
yang
am
gue
super
suka ini
excited for it.
Wintrace.
There's nothing like a good co-op. Many of you might already be familiar with this event by now, but there have been a few changes. Let me introduce what travelers can expect to see this time around. We could
Wintrace
probably skip
dirubah
some of
nih
the basics
katanya
this
sih.
time. You know, players either hide or seek. And then...
Okay, wait a second. There actually might be some new travelers out there who've never seen this event before. So why don't you start with some of the basics?
Right, good point. Okay, let's start at the beginning then. This is a game with a long history in Mondstadt. Travelers will be split into two different sides, the rebels and the hunter. You will need to use skills and master the art of hiding or chasing down others to win this event. The goal of the hunter is to capture all the rebels, while the rebels run or use other means to keep themselves from getting caught by the hunter.
Ini paling
Okay,
konyol sih
that's
sumpah sih.
straightforward enough. So, what else you got for us?
Well, some travelers may remember playing as the rebels and getting caught early in the game. Once that would happen, all you could do was spectate and watch the rest as the others continue playing. But this time around, once you're caught, you'll still be able to participate in the match even in observer mode.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Once you're in observer mode, you can't be seen by other players and will receive the illusory beacon skill. This skill will allow you to place a random beacon to confuse the hunter. If your beacon successfully tricks the hunter and is destroyed, then the hunter will suffer an obscured vision
Oh,
effect.
sekarang lu
So
kalau
even
udah
after
ketangkep
you've
masih
been
bisa
captured,
ngerjain
you can
si
be like a little
hunternya ya.
ghost trying to help your teammates by disrupting the hunter.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. And
Bagus
at
sih,
least
biar
you won't
kita
have to
nggak
sit there
nganggur
and
gitu
just
kalau udah
watch the
ketangkep
rest
ya.
of the match anymore.
Exactly, but what does the hunter get this time? I mean, we gotta keep it fair.
Some new windward arts have been added for both the hunter and the rebels. The hunter will now be able to use the hunter's net. This net can be thrown and will remove any rebel disguises within its range, and will notify the hunter that a rebel was detected. If a beacon is caught in the net, it'll be destroyed and the hunter will not suffer from obscured vision.
Nice. So I guess if you love playing hunter, you'll probably love
Itu
this.
Oh yeah, you
Hunternya
definitely
bisa
should.
buat itu
The
tuh.
skill rebels used in previous versions of the
Bisa
game to
buat
place
ngetes.
beacons can now only be used by players in
Itu
observer.
apa?
However,
Samaran
the
beneran atau
rebels
bohongan
will
gitu.
be able to use an all-new concealing beacon skill. This skill will allow you to deploy a beacon for a set duration and remain invisible while you're around that beacon. All players, including your rebel teammates, will be unable to see you while you're invisible. If the concealing beacon is destroyed by the hunter, then the hunter will have their vision obscured for a short time. Sounds pretty fun, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so even if you end up being captured by the hunter at the start of the game, you'll still be able to participate and assist your teammates. And, did I mention Primo Gems and other rewards? The good stuff. So be sure to check it out.
Oh, that's awesome. Seriously, I can't wait to play with friends. Okay, our next event is a combat-based event.
Time for some combat!
Whoop, whoop.
In a
Event
forbidden
berantem
place
lagi.
warded by dust and sand.
Oh, Misty
Mysterious
Dungeon
foes have
lagi.
assembled lines of fortifications to stop your coming.
Misty Dungeon biasanya yang
That's right, a
karakternya
new
udah
edition
dipilihin
of
kan ya?
Misty Dungeon will arrive in version 3.3. Stoked.
Sweet.
But this time around, there will be a total of 7 trials with different themes awaiting you in the Misty Dungeon. Each has a different ley line disorder, and travelers will have to adjust their teams according to the disorder's
Nah, bener
effects
kan,
and the
karakternya udah
distribution of
dipilihin.
enemies. There will also be trial characters for you to select from as well. After entering the domain, travelers will need to go and complete 3 challenges to collect ancient runes. After collecting power from 3 ancient runes, we can power up the control array and proceed to the final challenge. Also, throughout the trial, additional benediction mechanisms and challenges will appear. Travelers may choose to interact with these to increase the ley line disorder's effects or revive and heal your team.
You know, if it
Ini
were up to me, I'd say
mirip-mirip
just
ini
go
ya
for all the
berarti ya,
challenges.
eventnya yang di
I know, but
Inazuma, The
travelers should
Childe,
keep in
sama
mind that the
si
challenge objective for each
siapa
trial
tuh?
might be different. So
Si
be sure
Nian
to
itu
check
loh.
the objective and aim for that while proceeding. In terms of rewards, travelers can look forward to winning Primo Gems and other various prizes. Yes.
Ooh, I like prizes.
And last but not least, version 3.3 will also have
Leyline
overflow
overflow.
events. Travelers can look forward to saving their resin and earning more Mora and experience books.
Nice, that's awesome. That'll be great for all the travelers out there still leveling up all their new characters. And even if you don't need those resources now, it's always good to stock up and have more on hand, am I right?
Yeah. So, travelers looking to upgrade their characters won't want to miss this.
Yeah, I mean, this is all good stuff.
In addition to the new version's limited time
Nah,
events,
ini nih, main
version
kartu nih.
3.3 will also be adding a new permanent game mode called
Victor
Genius
Alexander, halo,
Invocation
halo, selamat
TCG.
malam Victor.
Invocation TCG!
But before we get into that, let's take another quick break and enjoy a redemption code. Yay!
Slap that
Redemption
code on the
code lagi
screen.
yang ketiga. ET9SUPENB765 100 primo game dan 50.000 Mora. Diklaim secepatnya ya, karena biasanya tuh besok jam 11 sih, jam 11 siang biasanya tuh udah ini kadaluarsa kodenya. Jadi waktu itu pernah ada yang kirain kodenya lama gitu, akhirnya berujung nggak dapet deh. 300 primo game cuy, kalau lo nggak ngambil sih sedih lo. Main kartu judi nggak sih? Enggak lah kalau nggak ada duitnya. Tapi kalau rewardnya Mora ada duitnya ya. Judi dong si Aether ya.
Welcome back, everyone. During our journey into Cepat, we've stumbled across several NPCs talking about a game called Genius Invocation TCG. So next, we'll introduce this card game that's been taking Cepat by storm. In the version 3.1 special program, we already revealed that Genius Invocation TCG will be a card game where we can challenge various characters and NPCs or battle against your friends. But there is actually a legend behind this game. It is said that a young guy in Sumeru found an ancient casket of tomes in the attic. He opened it and discovered that the soul of an ancient TCG player called the Crocodile King had been captured inside.
What a name.
It turns out that the Crocodile King was King Deshrep's viceroy, who battled an opponent named the Ibis King. During the match, the Crocodile King fell prey to his opponent's scheme and was sealed away in the casket of tomes.
Ouch, game over.
After being unexpectedly released by the kid, the Crocodile King possesses him and helps him to gradually climb the ranks to becoming a legendary TCG player.
Nice. Hang on, is it just me, or does that kind of sound like the plot to a light novel or something?
You're right. It turns out that Yai Publishing House is about to release a hit light novel series based on Genius Invocation TCG.
Okay, now this is starting to sound like a plug for Yai Publishing House.
Maybe. But anyway, that's the legend on how Genius Invocation TCG came to be. Though it's probably just a story they came up with for marketing the game.
So while you were telling us about the story, I was over here researching the rules to the game. Basically, Genius Invocation TCG is a game where you use a constructed deck of cards to duel against an opponent. The objective is to defeat all of your opponent's character cards.
That's right.
Also, there are many features and mechanics in the game that resonate with Genshin Impact's gameplay, so it shouldn't be too hard for players to get the hang of.
Right, I even saw some elemental reactions in the gameplay.
Yup, a constructed deck must contain character cards. And as you might expect, these character cards have a normal attack, an elemental skill, and an elemental burst. So when a character card deals elemental damage to an enemy, it will cause them to be affected by that element. Then, you can switch to a character card of a different element and use their abilities to trigger an elemental reaction.
Wait, did you guys notice that there are even monster character cards? Can we even make a deck of, like, just the monsters from the game?
You're really getting into this, Max.
Heck yeah, I am! I like card games!
Who doesn't?
So, in Genius Invocation TCG, all actions require you to spend elemental dice. Each round, both you and your opponent will roll 8 elemental dice. Each of these elemental dice can have any one of 8 elemental attributes.
Hold on, but there's only 7 elements in the world of Cepat.
You're right. So, in addition to the 7 standard elements, there's also one called the Omni element. The elemental dice required for a character card to perform an action correspond to the character's element. So, for example, a Pyro character like D-Luke needs either Pyro or Omni elemental dice to perform an action. Clear now?
Yep, crystal clear.
Also, elemental dice can be used to switch characters or play a variety of other cards, such as equipment cards, event cards,
Kalau
and
lu
support
punya
cards.
kartu Diluc,
All these cards
Dilucnya
create the
cuma bisa
potential
attack
for a
kalau lu
variety of
ngeroll dadu,
strategies.
keluarnya
While
elemental
playing
api.
Genius Invocation TCG, travelers can earn player experience, which will increase your player level. As your level increases, you'll be able to challenge more characters and NPCs. By completing challenges, you may earn lucky coins, new cards, or other rewards. Lucky coins can be exchanged in the event shop for cards, or can even unlock dynamic skins for certain cards.
Dynamic
Anjir,
skins? Those
kartu
are cards
aja sampai
that
ada
have moving
skin.
illustrations, right?
That's right. All character cards can unlock a dynamic skin. After unlocking that, there'll even be a cool bonus animation whenever you cast that character's
Anjir,
elemental
kalau
verb.
pakai skin
And if
pas
you're
ngetek
confident
ada
in your
ada
TCG
ininya
skills,
ya, ada
you can also
animasinya
invite
ya.
a friend to duel. After reaching a high enough player level, you'll even unlock a matchmaking mode. So be sure to give it a try.
Travelers should note that playing against your friends or other travelers won't count towards any leaderboards or provide any rewards. So you can relax. It's all just for fun. Okay, that's everything we have for Genius Invocation TCG, and that brings us to the end of today's special program. So, what did you think?
Why does it have to be over? There's so much that this version has to offer.
Ini berarti ibaratnya mirip-mirip main kartu Pokemon ya.
Super stoked
Kita
to
mesti
be
ada
part of
energy
this.
card baru bisa
I
ngetek
think
ya.
I just gained some Kugaryoku points just doing this whole thing, so.
Man, the new characters look cool.
I know, what about Scaramouche hovering? Like, that's
I
insane.
know, that's awesome.
That's super dope.
That's awesome, and I cannot wait to play in some of these events and mini games. I'm super excited. This was so fun. I'm really glad that we got to do the special program together.
I'm so happy I got to
Habis
come
nih kayaknya
back for another special program. This is my 3rd time being on one of these, and I can't wait for number 4. I'm counting.
I'm so happy. This is my first one, so thank you for having me.
Doesn't it feel good?
Yes,
Doesn't
I
it feel
feel
good to
honored
feel
to be here.
special?
Seriously, I'm
Do
just
you
like-
feel special?
I really do. Thank you.
Well, I think this is the end of our special program. So I hope everyone enjoyed it, and we'll see you in game. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
bye. See you later. Habis. Habis dah. Gua hari ini belum daily sih gua. Mungkin gua bakalan lanjut live-nya bentar ya, gua pengen daily. Bentar, gua nyalain game capture dulu. Display capture matiin. Bluetooth udah nyala, Bluetooth gua. Kita main bentar ya sebelum gua off ya. Mana nih Genshin Impact gua kok nggak jalan-jalan? Nah, sip. Sekalian redeem kode-kode tadi ya. Nah, ini kenapa nggak jalan-jalan nih memeriksa update-nya? Wah, error nih kayaknya Genshin-nya nih. Nggak jalan, cuk. Kenapa ini Genshin-ku? Kenapa tidak jalan? Nah, ini baru jalan nih. Oke, sip. Bogel, yo, halo Bogel. Spesial live stream udah beres. Sekarang saatnya kita ngeridem kode-kodenya ya. Kayaknya tadi ada yang udah nge-share kodenya ya di Discord ya. Oh iya, nih ada yang nge-share deh, Riz Terakawa. Tapi baru 2 kode ya. 1 kode lagi dia belum nge-share. Nanti kalau ini gua share juga lah. Bang, aku ngegaca. Hah? Bang, aku gacha Cilde dapatnya Hia. Hia siapa? Bang, aku ngegaca Cil. Arkon Quest kemarin berapa jam, Bang, tanpa skip dialog? Hampir 5 jam loh kalau nggak salah. Itu Arkon Quest terpanjang loh itu. Penukaran kode 8 arah 6 FNB NPV. Oke, 1 NS 8 BD 6 EPS 77Z. Terakhir ET 9 SUPEN B7 65. Oke, 300 primo.
あるんだが。どんなジョークで人が笑うのか、俺にはわからん。
Mesti daily dulu. Aku paling kesel nih sama shield ini. Keras bener tuh shield kayu. Bro, anjir. Langsung dulu deh. Itu buat yang ketinggalan special live streamnya, trailer udah keluar ya di YouTube ya. Trailer dari official Genshin ya. Kena overload. Dead Singer, halo Pak D, halo, selamat malam. Dead Singer. Wah, langsung berkurang drastis ya nonton live streamnya. Ini spesial live stream abis.
この身で万象を粛清する。
Pade aku nongolin badut, maksudnya ngegacha di ini, ngegacha di banner yang nggak mau kamu ambil 5 star ya. Bukan dia yang ngasih ya, suaminya ya. Gila, PT tinggi begitu mah jangan paksa ke gacha lah. Kalau memang gak mau bintang 5-nya mah jangan. PT 87 mah dihajar juga gile. Aduh, gue mau, oh ya, hipotesis simfoni. Loh, belum kebuka toh? Kirain sehari 1. Besok baru kebuka nih hipotesis api. Wah, nggak ada kerjaan dong. Artefak penuh nggak ya artefak? Artefak bisa sekali. Yelan enak, artefak apa? Yelan itu apa ya kemarin itu ya? Gue nggak punya Yelan sih, soalnya gue jadi nggak gitu tahu artefak dia. Kayaknya sih Heart of Depth ya, Heart of Depth 1 sama Heart of Depth 2 itu dua pasang itu, sama satu lagi apa gitu yang naikin HP itu apa sih? Milelit ya? Kalau nggak salah ya, gue nggak tahu sih. Soalnya gue nggak punya Yelan juga. Kalau nggak salah sih pakai itu sih.
ならば公務はひとまず置いておきましょう。
すぐ行く。へい。すぐ行く。雪を前。
牽引よ。よっと。
捕まえたんだ。飲みすぎだよ。失礼。桜吹雪。
それ。いや、ほれ。よっしゃ。
出発。
いざ風よ行こう。
踊りなさい。
総流水泳とせい、そこだ。
雪を前。立った。
よっしっと。
Yah, jelek mulu. Ini juga jelek. Kenapa ya belakangan ini kok artifak dapetnya jelek-jelek mulu ya? Kalian juga begitu kah? Kalau nge-farming artifak dapetnya jelek-jelek mulu? Udah banyak lagi talentnya Nahida. Wah, mau narik apa lagi ya? Wah, ini lebih banyak lagi gua. Wah, udah nggak ada yang nonton juga ya. Oke, karena special live streamnya juga udah beres dan nggak ada yang nonton sepertinya. Jadi live streamnya sampai sini dulu ya. Thank you yang udah nonton. Ciao.